Today, we're going to talk about whether the really popular thing called a smoothie is good for you or not. So, anybody who's been following me for some time understands that I'm a big fan of smoothies, but we're going to talk about some pros and cons of smoothies and just some things to be looking out for so you can utilize this really valuable and I think wonderful way to consume so many delicious foods in your daily intake of your food, but use it wisely. So, by the way, my name is Dr. Lori Marbus. I'm a board certified family medicine physician, and also a lifestyle focus is where we really talk a lot about nutrition, exercise, and all those wonderful habits that we know we should do, but we struggle to do. So I help to bring in some scientific tidbits and some how do we do this in a busy life and all those wonderful things. So if you are new to the channel, please subscribe, share this with someone you think might benefit, and also if you'd like more of this sent to your inbox and via your email, I'm very respectful and feel free to join up with my newsletter. The link is below. But let's get on with it, shall we? So first of all, can you consume smoothies on a regular basis and be healthy? Yes, absolutely 100%. And I've been consuming a smoothie for breakfast most days of the year, honestly, probably for close to a decade. um, so, and think I'm doing pretty well. I'll be 54 in October, so things are moving quite along. So, but let's talk about some of the pros and the cons. So first of all, what are the pros? First of all, you have nutrient density, right? So smoothies are packed with essential nutrients like vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, especially when they're made with a variety of foods, fruits, vegetables, and other ingredients like fortified non-dairy milks like soy milk and such. I put about a third, no, I take that back, about 2/3 of my smoothie every morning. So I have a Vitamix is going to be leafy greens, typically the spring mix. Then I put in broccoli slaw, cabbage slaw, and rice cauliflower. That is the vegetables. And then I'll throw in my fruits on top of that is more of around 1/3, just to make it sweet and much more palatable. In addition to that, you can throw in some other things like ground flaxseed, chia seeds, hemp seeds, whatever you like. But really making the base of it, that vegetable is really, really important. Next is understanding convenience. While some people may not even consume breakfast if it wasn't for the smoothie. So definitely easy and convenient to prepare. When you do prepare, however, you want to make sure that you consume it typically within 24 hours. So the sooner that you've blended and consume it, the better. We'll talk about how fast you could be drinking this. We'll get to that in here in a second and why you need to be careful. In addition, of course, things we just spoke about, you have increased fruit and vegetables. So easy, especially for kids or people with limited appetites, to get more food in them. And a variety of foods. So maybe you don't like greens. I'm not a huge salad person myself, but I know it's so important to get those dark green leafy vegetables in. Hence why I do the smoothie every single morning. And I choose to do the baby kale, the baby spinach, and all those things because I don't like the really strong flavors of some of the other dark green leafies as they get a little bit older and mature. Next is, depending on your ingredients, your smoothies can be quite satiety or filling your, excuse me. There we go. Actually really quite filling, right? So they can really promote satiety in the sense that if you drink it over a longer period of time, at least a half hour to 45 minutes, maybe even upwards of an hour, what you're going to find is that you will feel full. And the one thing that I really want to say is you can add anything to these smoothies. I have been known many times to add soybeans, chickpeas, white beans. I've played around with all sorts of stuff to try to get more of a nutrient dense profile in my smoothie. So don't be afraid to play around with it. You can always start small and then add in more as you go along. But those are some things, those are the pros, right? It's promoting satiety, increased fruit and vegetable intake, convenience, and the nutrient density. You just can't beat it. So what are the cons and what can we do to avoid some of the concerns about consuming smoothies? So first of all, You can't have a really high sugar content, right? So many smoothies, if they're made with fruit juice or added sweeteners, these can be high in sugars. So you want to be very, very mindful about that. So you want to make it, like I said before, the majority of your smoothie should be vegetable content or some type of legume, chickpea, things like that. In addition, you don't want to add anything probably other than water or some type of non-dairy milk, unsweetened preferably, as your liquid. That way you're avoiding that extra sugar content as well. Next is the potential for overconsumption, right? So obviously there you can put a lot of food in a smoothie. Trust me, I've done it. So what you want to be able to think about is this is a large amount of food. It's going in this blender, so you don't want to necessarily drink it very quickly, because you can get an excessive spike in your blood sugar. Because remember, you're not going to be eating that food as quickly as if you can drink it. So, and again, one more reason to be adding mostly vegetables and then some fruits to top it off. If you want to throw in plant-based protein powder, that's fine too. That's a great way to do it. I do that most mornings as well. I like the Garden of Life, their raw meal replacement powder. I put 1 scoop in there, and I'm sharing this with my husband and I. So that tastes great. Get a little bit of a chocolate flavor and get some extra nutrition on top of that. So again, just be mindful about, you don't want to be drinking all of your calories. A smoothie should be a part of a healthy, diverse, whole food, plant-based diet. You shouldn't be having smoothies for every single meal, unless you're having dental work. That's really helpful. I do have had patients who've had extensive dental work, and they were really struggling to maintain a healthy diet until we introduced smoothies, and that has made a wonderful change for them. So you can absolutely use this when you have a sore throat or you're not feeling well. Again, you could also do blended soups as well, kind of a similar thing as a smoothie, but maybe on the warmer side. So don't think about, or don't think you can't consume those foods because you have to chew them. Use that blender to your benefit. All right, next is the dental health risk, right? So if you have frequent consumption of smoothies, especially if they're high in acidic fruits, that can increase the risk of dental erosion due to the acidic nature of these foods. So again, you want to be very, very mindful about how often you're consuming it, what is in your smoothie. So I'd avoid being, or at least if you do the lemon or oranges, which are fine, just give yourself a good rinse with water. I'd be careful about brushing your teeth immediately after taking in a smoothie, because again, that acidity can sit on the teeth, and then brushing it just makes it worse right away anyway. So at least a half an hour if you're not going to be able to rinse your mouth with some water. But I would absolutely rinse your mouth after consuming a more acidic in nature type of smoothie. So let's protect those teeth. Trust me, I got all sorts of dental stories. It wasn't from the smoothie, but from other ththings, that why I'm wearing these Invisaligns to fix my bite. Anyway, sometimes if you're just relying on smoothies, again, for the majority of your calories, you might be missing out on some other really important nutrients, such as whole grains, right? So, or like, of course, those legumes, if you're not consuming any legumes in your smoothie. So, hence, the smoothie is just a part of a really whole food, plant-based diet. It needs to be part of the diversity. It's just a great way to get in some wonderful nutrients, especially early in your day, or if you have a picky eater, how you can hide some things in there. But again, just wanted to highlight some things of when you consume smoothies, where there's certainly absolutely more pros than cons, but a few cons, and we don't want you suffering any ill consequence just because we weren't paying attention to a few things. So as always, I'm a big fan of taking a whole food plant-based diet and optimizing it per the individual. I truly believe a whole food plant-based diet is the way to consume our foods. And again, I've been doing this diet for close to 13 years now. All three of my kids are primarily or all plant-based, my husband as well. So, and I've seen thousands and thousands of patients as a licensed in all 50 states and DC. So lots of fun here eating plants. But again, throw in that smoothie and it will absolutely benefit you. Just remember to keep an eye on a few different things. So thanks for joining me, and I'll be back tomorrow. Talk to you later.